Okay, guys, today we're talking about writing an effective cover letter. Your resume's job is to get noticed, and you need to somehow separate yourself from the rest of the pile of applicants. Your cover letter's job is to get you the phone call. So they might get 50 resumes in, and from those 50 resumes, they might only pull 10 that are actually suited for the position. Then when they read your cover letter, they're deciding, was this person just applying to get any job, or was this person really interested in coming to work for them? So some of the guidelines I want you to keep in mind when you put your cover letter together is you want to keep it brief. Okay. About a third to a half a page tops. You don't want to make it too brief that seems disrespectful, like you're not that into it, or this was like a mass emailing where you were applying to every job on the Eastern Seaboard, and hopefully one person calls you back. But if it's too long, it shows a lack of respect for that person's time. Okay. Now in area 2 and 3, we want you to make it personal. Okay, but we also want to connect it to the company we're applying to, and we'll talk a little bit more about search algorithms in a little bit, but don't do that blanket to whom it may concern. Take your time, go to Google, go to LinkedIn, find out about this company, about the person whose department is looking for the job. Find out all you can find out prior to this so that you can get that information into the cover letter. Make sure the spelling of the person's name is correct, and make sure their title is correct as well. You could even do a quick call to the company, maybe find some kind of an operator or an admin who can direct you to who to send it to, how do you spell your name, what's their correct title. That invested time can pay handsome dividends there. All right, now, why get your why in there? Why are you applying for this job? Why that firm? Is there anything that drew you to either the name? Is that company active in your community, charity wise? So tie that all into your letter, and give them a reason to say, hey, like this person really wants to join our team, and we're about building a team. Um, Now, it's very costly for a firm to hire, train, and if things don't work out, then rehire. That's a lot of time invested. That's a lot of money that's been invested that they didn't get a return on. So they want to make sure that you're the right fit, and you're not just using this as, I need to get experience so that I can get the job I actually want. So they have a pretty good nose for sniffing that out. Um, Now, in this as well, in the job description that was posted, the one that you would be applying to, there's a lot of buzzwords that were in there. Now, your resume and cover letter are not read by an actual human first. There's a search program that is going to scan thousands of cover letters and resumes, picking out these buzzwords to see if you're a fit. So it's like the screening process. Make sure that the job skills, the job requirements, the experience that was in the job description makes it into both your resume and your cover letter. That way, you increase your probability that yours gets scanned and gets filtered out. Now, um, why should they pick you? Do a little bit of bragging here, like lead with your strengths right now. This is not the time to talk about your weaknesses, but we will talk about your weaknesses and what you're doing to address them when we get into the interview process right now. So here you're going to focus on things from the job description, tie 2 or 3 of them. The more the better. But again, all while trying to keep this pretty brief. Get it from the job description, and tie it to your strengths or your experiences. Now, I know this is difficult to do in a letter, but show that you have some passion. Um, people are firms are looking for people that are engaged, that they can't wait to show up to work. I know that's not it's a hard thing to do, but the firms are looking to acquire an asset, someone who's willing to buy into the core mission. And the best people, make the best assets. No one really wants to hire someone who's just looking to, collect the paycheck. Will punch in, punch out, and not put in the extra effort. Now, one thing that I think is a good way to end your cover letter is some kind of act of kindness. Like, hey, listen. I know you're very busy, and I really appreciate you taking the time to read my resume, read my cover letter, and hopefully I'll hear back from you soon. Um, it can't read untruthful. If it's not something you wouldn't actually say in conversation, I wouldn't put it down. So this is a good one that some people would like to end with, but if you're not comfortable saying things like this, then I wouldn't put it in your letter. So hiring can be a very stressful process, and I just like to wish you all the best in your endeavor. That can go a long way of saying, listen, we're all busy, and I appreciate you taking the time and looking at my resume, looking at my cover letter, and hopefully things will work out in the future. Okay, now today, what you're going to be working on is you're going to start to put together your cover letter. And I do understand that you don't know the position you're hiring for right now, so we're going to keep parts of it a little bit vague, but make sure that we're going to have areas of our cover letter that we can sub in and out depending on what type of job you're applying for. All right, when you put your cover letter together, um, try to make it career focused. So if you were thinking about going into finance, try to tailor it into finance. If you're thinking of going into healthcare, go into that, marketing. So tailor it to the field that you're hoping to work in one day. We're also going to use today to finish our resumes because I'm looking to collect our resumes either Thursday or Friday.